What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about the one and only Tesla stock and what you should be looking after for the future. I'm also going to do some in-depth technical analysis and break down what's going on with Tesla's share price, what I do forecast for the remainder of the year. I'm also going to break down why the markets are going to likely see some pain to start off 2023 and how this could affect Tesla, some very critical levels to watch for, and also what I do anticipate for the remainder of the year. Now, before I break anything down, before I get into any more details, I do have to mention a couple of things real quick. Firstly, I'm not a financial planner. Take none of this as financial advice whatsoever. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire Tesla community as a whole. And the last things, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link down below in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, you're guaranteed up to 12 free stocks, each worth up to $2,000. And the best part is any could be a free Tesla share. It's a limited time offer. The offer ends in just 1 week. Check it out before they run out. With that set out of the way, let's get on with the video. So I just wanted to say I really appreciate all the kind messages that you guys sent me, whether it was on the comments or directly. I really appreciate everything, guys. I think this community is amazing. You guys really help me keep going, and you guys really help me recover a lot faster. So I really appreciate everything. You guys are amazing. I just wanted to know I'm feeling much better right now. I will be speaking maybe for not too long in this video. I actually recorded this entire video before this, and then something went wrong with the recording when I was trying to download it, and then I have to just redo it, but it's completely fine. I'm doing much better. I won't speak for too long in this video, but I will release another video for Christmas. And then on Monday, all right, I'm going to release another video then that's going to be more normal, more like my older videos, more in depth. But the thing is, the market's going to be closed on Monday. So please be prepared for that. We're not going to have a full day that's where the market's open. The market will reopen on Tuesday. The reason the market's going to be closed on Monday is for Christmas. I'm sure most of you actually knew that. But anyways, let's now talk about Tesla. What has been going on over the last few weeks? Now, over the last 10 trading days, 9 of them were actually pretty red for Tesla, with some of them being pretty significant sell-off days, even yesterday, and only one of them had a tiny, tiny little green day. So the majority of the last week and a half has just been Tesla selling off like crazy. And it's very unfortunate because from a technical standpoint, you would watch Tesla and see very critical levels, and this thing just, it continued to bleed. It just went below them. And this is because news is what was dictating Tesla. All right. There were days where Tesla was getting ready. It looked like it wanted to bounce. We were in a demand zone. All of a sudden, huge negative catalyst comes out, another very negative piece of news, and Tesla's down another 10%. Tesla's down another 5%. It was just madness. And I also want to note that the news we see about Tesla is used as a form of manipulation because Tesla has been one of the most shorted stocks this year. The short sellers are up over $12 billion from just their Tesla short positions. This doesn't include like their Apple short positions or other things like that. Just off Tesla alone, they're up over $12 billion. And I just wanted to note that when the short sellers come in, they are relentless, and then they do whatever they can to bring the price down. And we are actually seeing this happen. However, I'm completely fine with it because when you zoom out, all right, the all-time high was $414.50. $400. And this thing is now trading very close to 100 flat. That is a very amazing deal for the long term. I cannot wait to really start buying these dips. I'm still waiting a bit before I actually start buying in like crazy. I think this is a good place to start for Tesla. But the reason why I'm talking about kind of waiting for more of like the collective market is because the market is not crashing yet. The real crash is just starting. All right. What do I mean by that? On SPY, all right, on the S&P 500, on Apple, these things haven't really crashed just yet. If you look at SPY so far, we have this descending, broadening wedge-like pattern. we had a rising wedge-like pattern that formed, followed by a big break to the downside. And during moments like these, the shorts pile in, they watch these things, fall pretty hard, and they were incentivized to start taking some profits down here. And I say this because the shorts made money by shorting SPY at 410, and then SPY comes down to 374. So now we're bouncing. The market's starting to bounce a bit, and I believe, excuse me, sorry about that. What I believe is we're not seeing tech lead this rally. Tech is actually falling behind, right? Tech is actually under SPY, which is a sign of weakness and a lack of confidence in the markets. That's particularly why the 10-year yield is also starting to pump. There's not as much confidence in the markets. All right. And I say this because, yes, we might get another pump, a small one. SPY could go to 385. I believe it will. Maybe we see 390. Completely fine. Why is this happening? So the shorts could re-enter and start shorting very hard for 2023. It's very, very simple. Okay, the market it could push up a bit. I don't know exactly how high it's going to go to. This is just the shorts getting ready to pile in again to start causing lots of blood for 2023. Starting in January, I do expect a big sell-off. Look what happened last January. Okay, the market had this mini Santa rally starting on the 21st, right here. Market pushes, pushes, pushes. The Santa rally peaks around the very end of December. We actually sell off a little bit. And then what happens is we push up one last time before January comes, and then the market collapses. SPY goes from 472 all the way down to 413. Crazy drop. That's almost a $60 drop in just 3 weeks. Pretty insane stuff, guys. And I believe we're going to see a repeat of that. This also indicates that we're going to see a kangaroo-styled market, a very choppy market for 2023, at least for, I would say, the first quarter. I expect that. There could be a nice bounce by the second quarter or so, but I do believe we're going to continue to kangaroo a bit. But we should be able to see the market break out of the bear market pretty soon over the next couple of months. But until then, right before it happens, there's going to be a big sell-off coming. And it's going to be affecting everything. Apple's going to come down to new lows. I mean, it's already starting to make those new lows for the year. It's very close to that territory. All right. And we're going to see lots of pain, unfortunately. Now, lots of small caps could get hit. The dollar index is getting ready to bounce. It's actually in a falling wedge-like pattern. It's getting ready for a very big bounce. It's coming by next year, in my opinion, seeing it at this key demand zone. On the VIX, what are we seeing on the VIX? It's a little bit down because the market is starting to pump a bit. It could come down, but I do expect it to stay between 20 and 19. We're actually very close to this demand area. It could come down a little bit because the market could pump a little bit more for the remainder of the year. It is still possible, but I expect the VIX to either bottom at 20 or 19 before 2023 comes, and then this thing starts flying to the moon, and the market's going to tank once we start 2023. It's coming. A big drop is coming. And for Tesla, what does all of this mean? I believe Tesla is undervalued from a technical standpoint. This thing should have bounced already. But from a different standpoint, based off investor sentiment, people are scared. They're panicking, they're capitulating because of all the negative news that came out. There's a lack of demand in the markets right now, and it's expected to be like this for 2023. We're not going to see the same buying pressures what we saw during the bull rally. On top of that, the car industry is going to be taking a big hit. Tesla's earnings are already starting to show signs of Tesla taking another hit from their margins, their profitability. On top of that, we had news about Tesla's German Gigafactory not meeting production expectations, And then we also had all this negative news involving Elon Musk and Twitter. There was more negative news involving, Tesla laying off employees. I mean, the list goes on. It was just an endless list. And this was also incited by the mainstream media to cause pain, because we know who's behind this, the short sellers making billions. So what do I see for Tesla? From a technical standpoint, yes, this thing needs to bounce. From a news capitulation standpoint, it could continue to just drop. It's unfortunate, but it's true. It's how the news works. It's how investors begin to panic. We have to be very, very careful. I'm hoping for next week we see a small bounce. It's very hard to see because we're still down 1.76% today, even after Elon Musk just tweeted that he's not going to be selling Tesla shares until 2025. So it's very hard for this thing to move. It's showing lots of relative weakness. I believe we could try to push back to like 130 if SPY continues to push up a little bit. I don't see it doing much more from there though. 136 maybe, very unlikely. It's probably going to just chop as the year comes to an end. And then for 2023, if the market is not crashing yet, maybe it's going to take a week into 2023 to start. There is a chance Tesla could actually bounce and push back to the 140s. And that's because of the deliveries report that comes out. If Tesla killed it in terms of the production and they met all the expectations, there is a chance this thing could actually get a nice bounce to start off the year. And then, unfortunately, I don't expect the bounce to last, because once the market collapses, okay, which I believe it's going to do in January, Tesla's likely going to get dragged down again. And I do believe it's going to retest 120. But we do have strong support here. If we break 120, which it probably will in January, right? Maybe it could even happen as soon as, next week. Who knows? But let's just talk about some very key levels. If this thing breaks 120, whether it's next week, whether it's by January, like I said before, I'm not scared. This is a very good buying opportunity. When others are fearful, I am greedy because I'm very bullish long term on the stock. But going down here, I'm going to be watching 117 ish. Break below that, we have some pretty nice support at 110. But then what's worth noting would be the gaps. We have a ton of gaps to the downside. Now, not all gaps have to get filled. If you see something in the 20s or 30s for Tesla, it does not have to get filled. But the majority of the time, when Tesla is very close to these unfilled gaps, we tend to fill them. All right? So please be prepared for that. We have a gap at 108. 108, and then below that, there's another gap between 104.5 and 103 right here. And then if we break below that, there's 100, which is going to be a very strong support zone, a very key demand zone. But if it breaks below 100, that's going to cause panic. I think we have another gap between 95 and 93. This thing could easily fill that gap if we break below 100. And then 90 is also very strong support. So we are going to be entering some very critical support levels if we continue to drop, especially if the market continues to crumble, which it will. But like I said, I'm not scared. I'm not fazed by this. I'm not worried. I'm very confident in Tesla and Elon Musk, what they're doing, their future. This is a blessing, because when many years pass by, we're going to look back at these dips in which we bought in once we see the share price breaking all-time highs again, which it will do very soon. It's not going to take 10 years. It's not going to take 5 years. It's going to happen within a year or two. It's going to break all-time highs, in my opinion, in another 2 years or so, right? I believe that's going to happen. I'm still very bullish. Once the bull market returns and Tesla squeezes, it's going to be incredible. But until then, we have the opportunity to buy these dips. The longer it's down here, the longer our opportunity is. So it's very, very awesome. So like I said, end of the year, I expect lots of chop, maybe a small rebound, very, very small one. It does not look that strong though, unfortunately. Tesla is just showing so much weakness thanks to the news. It could come lower as well, depending on the news. I can't really predict that. For 2023, right before we right before we start 2023, there might be a small sell-off in the markets. That tends to happen. When we start 2023 for Tesla, the Tesla could bounce and have a small push up thanks to its deliveries and production report that comes out for the entire year. So that could be very big. But even if Tesla pushes up, do not necessarily think it's going to go to all-time highs or explode. I believe that it's not going to last too long because the whole market will likely take a hit in January. So Tesla will likely get dragged down again in January of 2023, and I want everyone to be prepared for that. So that's basically what I'm forecasting. I hope that wasn't too complicated, and that's what I have for this video. So thank you all so much for listening. I will be uploading another video on, let me think, Christmas Day, and then I have a much more in-depth analysis video to release on Monday, so be on the lookout for that. But anyways, thank you all so much for listening. Please have a very Merry Christmas. I want the best for everyone. Thank you all so much. Tesla to the moon, because the long-term future is still very bright, and peace out.